My name is Glen Davis Jr., and I'm from Avondale, Louisiana, which is on the outskirts of New Orleans. You know, I grew up playing Pee Wee League football in this playground, basketball in this gym, baseball in this park. This is my grandma's house. When the detectives came out looking for me for the crime of first-degree murder, they came here. And that was August 18, 1992.
He was 18 years old. They said they wanted to question him. They brought him in one door and took him out the back door. And he didn't come back.
The very next day, my firstborn child, she was born.
And he needed, I think, like $100,000 or something like that. We put up every house in the family to get him out, plus some cash.
11 months later, we went to trial, and I was convicted by a non-unanimous jury. I wound up doing 14 years in Angola for the crime of second-degree murder that I didn't commit. All it took was 10. All it took was 10.
My name is Kate, and I'm with the Unanimous Jury Coalition.
My name is Brad, and I'm with the Unanimous Jury Coalition.
This is Renee. I'm a volunteer with the Unanimous Jury Coalition.
Did you know that Louisiana currently has a non-unanimous jury law?
They can convict someone of a crime even if two people on the jury think that they're innocent.
Louisiana is the only state that you can go to prison for the rest of your life on a split jury. It was personal for me because I went to prison with a 10-2 verdict. While working in the prison law library, I learned that it was like literally thousands of folks who had 10-11-1 verdicts.
Are you aware of Amendment number 2?
Which requires unanimous juries.
You can help change this law by voting yes on Amendment 2 this Tuesday, November 6th.
We got less than a week. This is our one shot. We have to seize it because we will never get another opportunity to get this on the ballot to make this happen.
I'm from the downtown area, like 6th Ward, Orleans, where a lot of crime goes on. So, and that's where I got that charge and that conviction, possession with the intent. I was on drugs for 27 years. I used to have to decide whether I was gonna get high or whether I was gonna eat. That's insane, but that was my life. As many things I have been guilty of, I wasn't guilty that time. First time a jury came back, it was 7 and 5. But those 7 convinced 3 of the 5 to come on their side, and it became 10 and 2. And they gave me 4 years. We are going to Tulane University, Loyola University. That's where we headed. I'm ready to roll. You gotta speak up. Because if you don't, they're gonna do what they wanna do. This is the first time I've ever fought for anything. I never stand up for myself. It's my first time feeling like I belong to something. I've been having some really good conversations, but I've talked to more people who say the government gonna do what they want anyway. My vote don't count. I feel bad about it because at one time I didn't think I cared. And I want these people to know that their voice matters. Thank you. That's right.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
There's a broad coalition that came together from both left and right.
Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, they all kind of came together and said, the practice really violates the Bill of Rights.
Many people already thought that Louisiana had unanimous jury verdicts and was really appalled to find out the ugly origins of this law.
We know that non-unanimous juries are a vestige of Jim Crow, and we know that non-unanimous juries do not keep us safe. They are not reliable, and it's time for them to go.
In 1898, there was a constitutional convention. There were 138 white delegates. And when you look at the transcript from this convention, they make their intentions very clear.
They did this to violate the 14th Amendment to disenfranchise voters and to abridge their fundamental rights.
It's important to remember the context of Louisiana being a huge state for slavery. And when the 13th Amendment took away this enterprise, there was intentional design to figure out how could we still have this workforce to continue to work in the fields. Louisiana has been the prison capital of the world for quite some time. A main contributor to our capital status is non-unanimous juries.
At minimum, there were 12 men who were convicted by non-unanimous juries who we know were actually innocent. They were sentenced to life in prison. And life in prison in Louisiana is life in prison. You leave Angola in a pine box, even though a juror said, I think they're innocent.
They just wanted somebody, and it just so happened to be us.
It's a single eyewitness case. That was it. That was the only evidence.
The eyewitness, he was a heavy crack user. He had like 6 convictions, and he had 3 open arrests. What he did was he swapped those charges for our lives.
There were 2 jurors who did not believe the state's case. These Black women grew up in the same neighborhood as where this crime had happened. They actually had serious doubts about the reliability of this single eyewitness.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Mr. Glen Davis, guilty of second-degree murder. So say 10 of 12 jurors. As a young boy, my life, my liberty, and my pursuit of happiness, all that shit was taken away from me.
In post-conviction, we discovered police documents that the police never turned over to the defense that showed that this eyewitness actually wasn't even at the scene when the crime happened.
Sometimes I don't know how to feel about it. My family, they always telling me like, man, you gotta let it go. You know, I have a scar on my soul. How can I let that go? Had this state been a unanimous jury state, the detectives and the district attorney would have looked further into actually finding out who committed the crime. You know, we win this amendment, we get this Constitution changed, then no one ever will be affected by this again.
This is an amazing night right now. This is bigger than the Super Bowl because that means nothing.
This is the last remnant of Jim Crow legislation within Louisiana.
Jim Crow has to go, baby. Jim Crow has to go.
This was a massive turnout.
You tonight, ladies and gentlemen, have ended 138 years. In one night, you have fundamentally changed criminal justice in the state of Louisiana. All we need now is people willing to commit to do the work. Who's willing?
People in the state of Louisiana are really starting to question this addiction that we have to locking people up. We should be very, very cautious of the way that we handle determining somebody's incarceration, determining someone's liberty.
given that we have this infrastructure now, it really gives us faith that if we work together, that we can actually unite for justice and for fair-mindedness.
You put Jim Crow to bed tonight.